Hey world, it's your host Marshall, and thanks for tuning into my podcast, Run On Thoughts. Here we talk about everything and nothing because we are not afraid to be all of ourselves even as we evolve. And that's my thought for my fellow thought thinkers as we unpack our traumas, past hurts, and other BS. Y'all ready? Let's go. Hey thought thinkers, thanks for tuning in to Run On Thoughts. We are back at it again, and I am so grateful, and I mean really grateful to be here with you guys. I want to stand in a place of gratitude for anyone listening for the very first time, and for all of you who have been listening from the very beginning. I want to say thank you. Thank you. I hope that you are getting what you need. I hope that I am inspiring you to be your best and fullest self. I hope that you are out in the world living a full life and remembering that living a full life does not mean that every moment is going to be exciting. It means that you are armed with the necessary tools to get through life's obstacles, get through to the other side, and learn from the lesson so that you are always on a journey, that you are carrying joy and information. With that, I want to jump into today's episode. Let it flow. Let it flow. Let it flow. I want us to release what no longer fits. We are building a beautiful and meaningful arc around resilience, realism, and renewal. We've been talking about doing the best with what you've got. We've been talking about making it do what it do. But there comes a time when doing all of that still isn't enough. And today I am talking to those of you who it still isn't enough. Because that is when the real work begins. The work of release, building a healthy community, and giving yourself permission to be transformative. We have to change. And when does change start? Now. We can't keep waiting. We can't keep hoping. We can't keep looking out yonder. We have to do the work now. And you can piece it together in little parts, in little increments. Because if you keep adding on, eventually you'll have more. Eventually you'll get there. Eventually you'll get stronger. Eventually you'll have more tools. Eventually you would have taken more tests. But if you do nothing, you get nothing. Nothing. I just want to talk about what it means to let it flow. To stop forcing what no longer fits and instead make room for what's trying to come into your life. Isn't that crazy? Because something is trying to come into your life. That's why I want you to truly let it go. I want you to let go. Not just of things or people, but of old beliefs, expectations, all of these crazy mental habits that keep us stuck in struggle. When times are hard, it's natural to cling to what's familiar, even when it no longer serves us. But what if releasing it is the very thing that allows blessings to flow in? We got to unpack this cognitive dissonance. Too many people have cognitive dissonance and it's really starting to scare me. I don't know exactly what we have to do. That's why I encourage you guys, after you listen to these episodes, that if you feel that you need help, go get help. Many of us need therapy. But also, there are many people who are getting therapy that are simply getting therapy to purge. And purging is necessary. Unpacking is necessary. But then you have to go do the work of change. You cannot sit in victimhood. You cannot stay there. You have to unpack your cognitive dissonance and you have to make a change. You have to take a leap of faith. You have to let it flow because you cannot keep holding on tight to these outdated ideals. You need to seek like-minded community, compassion, and honest self-reflection, right? Because you need to create space for growth, healing, and new possibilities. And when I say community and people who look like you and have shared values like you, not the cult-like shared values, not the values that you are holding on to because you have attached your identity to those values. And this is what the cognitive dissonance is. You're afraid of change. Today's episode was inspired by all of this foolishness with the lady on TikTok. I wish I knew her handle, about testing the churches and mosques and people to see who would help a baby, a 2-month-old baby, with one can of milk. One. There were churches who were upset with her for the test. But they're not upset about the test. They are upset that they failed the test. And so many people know that they failed the test. We already know how I feel about religion, but I believe that it is important for everyone to do what works for them. But that's the operative word, works. Is it working for you? Are you in spaces that are helping you to be a better person? Not just a social environment, but are you a better person? Are you doing more than just hoping and giving money over? What is going on? Do you have discernment? Are you able to see if you are in a healthy environment? If you got to lie for a friendship, for a romantic relationship, for an organization that you belong to, then guess what? You already know the answer. So when all of those people who have found out that their institution that was built with the purpose and intent of reaching the people, of being servants, because that is what religious organizations should be. It should be only about servitude. We pull our resources together in order to serve the people. And if that is not what your institution is doing, and that is what you want to be doing, because guess what? There are many who do not want to serve. They go to have their ego stroked. Because why would you have to line up to give money and tell people if you are doing acts of goodness on behalf of those in need? Just give. Just give. It doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be anything. Just give. And you should be giving from your heart, from your mind, from your soul. You should be volunteering. You should be of the community. You should not be locked in the cages in the institution. You should be out in the world. You don't have to stay there. But if you are forcing yourself to stay there out of obligation, exactly what are you obligated to? You could be a living ministry. You could be one, if you believe in tithing, to take your money and go out to the people and help the people. There is nothing wrong with abundance, but abundance on the backs of those who do not have is gluttony, is greed. And some of you know that you are following charismatic leaders. Having a gift does not mean that you have to use your gift in a healthy way. Many people abuse their gifts and use their gifts to control people. But that is why you have to have discernment. And I know I've said a lot about that because it's important that you know that is why it is important to let go. That is why it is important to understand the cost of clinging, how these attachments to old beliefs can block your progress. Some of you know that you are not growing. You're just getting dressed up to go be with others who have been pulled in, who have been made to feel guilty. But stop feeling guilt. Stop feeling shame. Get the courage to let it flow. Understand that letting go is an act of strength. It's not defeat. Don't feel guilty if you have belonged to something that does not, has not, and will not serve you. Feel powerful about being able to make a different decision. Search for people. Join together. Join together with those and see who have a like-minded idea about what it is that you really want to do. All praises to those who are starting soup kitchens. I told you guys that I'm going to be giving out some Aldi gift cards. I think I'm simply going to go into Aldi, get the gift cards, and let energy flow through me and give them away. I was thinking too hard about who, what, why, where, who doesn't need, who needs. Everybody needs. Some people may not necessarily need the money, but there are those who need to know that we are of a community. Because we never know what someone is going through. It doesn't matter what they are dressed like. We are all humans sharing a human experience. And that means that if I am able to, once I do, that's it. I release the blessing. I release the blessing. And that is how I will be blessed with joy, with the feeling of sharedness in my community. Right? Giving makes you feel good. Now, that doesn't mean you give to the takers, because that's a whole nother conversation that I want to talk about. But giving to those in need helps the whole community. Because when the community is imbalanced, it creates war and pillage and fear and anger. And that is what many of us are experiencing right now. All of those things. Sometimes we hold so tightly to our beliefs. Sometimes we hold so tightly to our routines. And sometimes we hold so tightly to our beliefs and ideas about what we should be that we forget how to flow with life as it really is. Stop lying to yourself. I know you recognize when it's time to let go of your outdated thinking, impossible expectations, and emotional clutter that no longer fits. Release it, because releasing it opens the door to peace, creativity, and real community healing. But that peace, oh, that peace. Some of you have never, ever experienced peace in your life. And once you know peace, it is something that you will never be able to give up. And peace is not what others offer. If you don't have peace for yourself, you cannot get peace from anybody else. Peace is a state of mind. Peace is your truth. Peace is your understanding. Peace is you getting to know yourself. Peace is you living in your truth. Peace is beautiful. Peace is joy. Peace is joy. Peace, guys. You have to let it flow. You have to let it flow so that you can flow. Because otherwise, there's this heavy weight of holding on. And the weight is what is drowning you. The weight is what is making you feel like you cannot move forward. The clinging on to these old beliefs and expectations during these hard times is what is making it feel like it is impossible to move forward. You have to stop justifying and defending things that may have once made sense, but now just keep you stuck. I've been there. I have held on to beliefs. This is why it is so dangerous to go back in someone's social media from the past. Because what if they have truly changed? There are many beliefs that I have had in the past that I no longer hold because I am comfortable escaping cognitive dissonance. I am comfortable being challenged. I am comfortable knowing that we all get new understanding and new information because that is growth. I am not the same woman who held the same beliefs 10 years ago. Yes, my core is the same. But as I heal, as I become more of myself, I am able to let others be more in all of themselves. Because remember, those that judge the hardest are mad because they cannot stand, sit, live in their truth. So they're busy judging others because they are cowards. And I don't want you to be a coward. And you don't have to. We have access to each other. We have access to people with the same and similar shared struggles who can open our eyes to collective healing when we stop pretending that everything is fine. If the way that you are going, if the organization that you belong to is not serving the community and or you in the way that you know is powerfully sharing and kind. If your organization is not kind, if your organization is not a servant of giving, leave and find community or be your own damn community. You can start the thing that you want. You can be the thing that you want. I remember I've never really been afraid to be myself, and I don't know why. I attribute that to I was born with that trait. But I've always been aware that not being yourself came with extreme consequences. I do understand and know that being yourself is hard because that comes with consequences. People may not like you. I don't care. I don't believe that everyone is supposed to like you. People may think that you're difficult. I am. People may think that you're different. I am. And I'm comfortable with that. And the reason I'm comfortable with that is because the weight of giving a damn, right? The weight of giving a damn and holding on to these old habits and being what other people want you to be and not being your authentic self, that weight is disease. That is the trauma. That is the guilt. That is what you are feeling. When you go home and you are asleep and you're in the shower and you're in the midnight hour, your self comes to you. That feeling that is in your gut, that is what I am not willing to live with. Life is hard enough with all of and life is not hard because we are humans. Life is hard because there are so many people who are selfish and greedy and who are gluttonous and who think that power is everything. But I know that all those who seek power once felt weak. And the weakness is that they were unable to stand in their truth with nothing. And they have convinced themselves that in order to be big, they have to be in charge of people. They have to be the bully. But if you were willing to just be yourself, all you need is yourself. And this is why good people cannot just be afraid to do nothing. Bad people are winning because, well, it seems like bad people are winning because good people don't believe that they have to fight. If you live in the Magic Garden, my joy is called the Magic Garden. I live there. And the reason why I live there and it gets to stay healthy and green and light bright is because I'm willing to kill for it. And that doesn't make me a bad person. It means that I am a human. I am kind. I am not nice. And if you do not know what that means, go back and find the episode. Nice is a people pleaser. Nice is agreeable. I am kind. Kind is what your church or synagogue or institution or mosque or whatever should be, or satanic cult, because they out here giving food. Kind. Kind is how you show up for people when you do not have to. Are you kind? Notice when life feels heavy or forced. That's often a signal that you are holding on to something that needs to move. That feeling in your stomach. That feeling like people are using you. That feeling that you need to get away, but you don't know quite how to do it. When you feel this type of resistance, pause. Ask, what am I afraid of? What am I afraid will happen if I let go? Naming it weakens its hold. That's why it's so important to have a relationship with yourself. That's why it's important to get to know yourself. So, because the more you know yourself, the more you are able to identify when something is not for you. And you can't be kind if you are afraid. That's nice. That's the people pleaser. That's the one who wants and seeks validation from others. You got to validate yourself, because if people can validate you good, they can validate your bad. And that is dangerous. Stop trying to be in control. Replace control with curiosity. I want to say I'm curious, but I know damn well that I am nosy. But I'm curious. I like to see and watch and know and understand and learn. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means making space for something new. New. Of course you're not happy if you're stagnant, if you're stuck in and then stuck in something that feels so heavy. Stuck in something that is not working, stuck in something that is keeping you from being loving and being loved in return. Stop asking why me, but what can I learn here? I am on a life journey of positive thinking. I am on a life journey of feeling like the answer is always ahead. I am not dwelling on what it should have been, what it could have been, on the why it happened. I am constantly in a place of looking for a solution, but the looking for a solution is because I am always curious. My curiosity keeps my energy moving forward. Do you guys understand what I am saying? If you are constantly saying, why me? If you are constantly saying what you want, but you never have a plan of attack to actually get it, then you are actually never moving forward. Never moving forward. If you are saying, I want to decorate my room, something simple, right? And you don't have it, and you keep saying, I don't have it, I don't have it, I don't have it, guess what? You'll never have it. But if it means that you do one at a time, or you save up, eventually you'll get to the place where you can have it. And I want you to have it. Start small. Save the $10, $5. Save the money. What is it, $520 a year? If you just save $5 and the bed costs $500, you've saved the money. It took a year, but if you never did nothing, you'll never have nothing. It's that simple. Move forward with a plan. But in order to move, you must be willing to let it flow. Share with somebody. Share with yourself. Honestly. About something you want and need to release. Let connection lighten the load. Don't feel embarrassed that you have held on to a thought, an idea, a belief, a person, an institution for too long. Give yourself grace and mercy and understand that changing your mind, if you are changing it for the better, is a good thing. There is nothing wrong with being wrong. The beauty is in the new discovery. And look at how much time you are wasting holding on to the past ideas and ideals simply because you are afraid of being wrong. Who gives a fuck? When you stop gripping what's gone, what didn't serve you, your hands are finally free to receive what's next. Let the shit go. Let it go. Letting go isn't weakness. It's wisdom. It's the quiet strength that says, I deserve peace more than I need control. Say it out loud. I deserve peace more than I need control. I know life is still lifing with all that I've said. But I want you to go out into the world this week, and I want you to notice where you can loosen your grip and let life meet you halfway. Because when you let it flow, you let yourself grow. And want, I want you to grow. I want you to be free. These are invisible chains that the world has on you. I want you to be free. I want you to understand that we have all been lied to. We are living upside down, but the truth is, liars know the truth. We know the truth. But we are afraid to stand 10 toes down in the truth for fear of retribution, for fear of condemnation, for fear of not belonging. But you got to belong to yourself. Stop needing to fit into people who ain't shit, people who don't serve you, to people who don't serve the community, to people who move on hate, people who have sullied what is good and turned it into something disgusting. And because you want to be validated, because you want to belong, you rock with the shit? I promise you, your people, good people, are out there. And some of the people who are acting bad are just weak. Some people are just evil, and that's just what it is. And there's nothing y'all could tell me. But then there are those, because the evil depend on the weak. The evil depend on the weak, which is why the good and the strong must fight. I'm tired of talking to you. Bye.